Who's that Pokemon?
It's Booster Brat TCG.
It doesn't matter if you're a trading card game enthusiast or an anime lover. Everyone, and I mean everyone, grew up playing or hearing about the phenomenon known as Pokemon. In today's video, we are going to talk about the Booster Brat references of Pokemon. Last time we did Digimon, and this time, what better way to tackle references than to tackle the biggest trading card game out there? Some might say it's Magic the Gathering, but we all know the biggest IP out there, the worldwide phenomenon that has taken generation after generation after generation of children into young adults, into adults, is Pokemon. The first reference that I found might not come pretty easy to some of you all. You all might not see it the way I see it, but that's okay. This is just my opinion. Acceptance letter. Now, I know this is meant to be like the way the characters in the game are brought to the Pocketeer cult. But when I look at this, I see a Pokédex. I also see the Team Rocket symbol in a way. It looks very close to the rocket symbol, but I also get Pokédex vibes here. And the fact that it has like a little gem or a stone could resemble badges in a way. When you tackle the gym leaders and you get their badges, and you can look and you see that you collected them all. Those are the references I see for acceptance letter. What do you all see? Archaeopteryx. Now, I may be mispronouncing that, and I do apologize. But the one reference I strongly get out of this is Articuno. May it be the blue, it may be the way that it's positioned. But I see the legendary bird of ice. Look at the glare in its eyes. The majestic, the legendary feeling that you get from this. Now, I also kind of get very minor vibes from Aerodactyl. Now, that could be just because of the name, but also like the prehistoric little... It looks like a dinosaur in a way, not only just a bird. But what do you all see? Blasting off again. I don't think I have to go into too big of a reference, so I'm just going to show you this.
Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again!
Bratizard. This is a reference to the most iconic monster in monster taming history. The legendary, the phenomenal, the GOAT of all card games, Charizard. Not only that, but you can kind of see in a way that Bratizard is in the same position, the same pose that base set Charizard is. In a way. Now, Bratizard has three forms in this game. Of course, you're going to have the Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. But Bratizard, 100%, without a shadow of doubt, is the Charizard of Booster Brat. But what do you see? Corporate Jingle. I'm getting major Giovanni vibes from Team Rocket. This looks so much like a boss's order card. And you know, Corporate Jingle Pocketeer cult, you know, Pokemon, Pocket Monsters. It all goes hand in hand. Corporate jingle, you know, it even has the Pocketeer cult symbol underneath the play cost. So this is definitely a reference to Giovanni, in my opinion. But what is it that you see? Dark Shell Baby. Now this one might be a little bit off, but I'm thinking Shelter here. Not just because of the shell and the eyes and everything. It just looks like heavily like a shelter or a cloister. I'm getting those major vibes. And you know, with the spikes and everything, it definitely looks like a cloister. But another reason I think this is shelter is because the history of Slowbro in Pokemon is the shell on his tail is from a shelter. And the shell looks so much like the shell right here. So in my opinion, this is definitely a shelter reference. But what is it that you see? Idiotic. Here's a couple things here. At first I didn't get this, but we're talking to some other people from the Pocketeer cult. I definitely now see the reference of the legendary bird in the back. But looking at this now, looking at the name, I know it was mentioned that this is supposed to be like the reverse of what a legendary looks like, but idiotic? Pidgeot? I may be stretching there. But what if idiotic was not a legendary bird, but what if it was the regional bird? Like Pidgeot is the Kanto regional bird. Not a legendary, but still legendary in its own right. So that's what I see. I see Pidgeot and of course a legendary in the background. So hands down, I believe this is a Pidgeot or regional bird reference. But what is it that you see? Number 151. There's a couple things that I could say about this. The fact that there's 151 Pokemon in the original generation. The generation that most of us grew up on. Now, you can also say this kind of gives off Mew vibes. But I think a vibe that's giving off a lot more is Celebi. 100% I see Celebi here. I don't know why. But as I look in those deep, open, blackness of eyes, I look like I'm staring right in the eyes of Celebi. Like a tribal, dark version of Celebi. What is it that you see? Rarity badge. Now, this is equipped to a character you control. As long as a rarity badge is equipped, that character gains all keywords. Why is it that I'm bringing the effect of this card into play? Well, clearly this can represent the gym badges, but the effect gives me more proof that it is. Because in Pokemon, in the anime, in the games, if your Pokemon was a high level and you hadn't beat a certain gym to match that level, your Pokemon wouldn't respond to you. Take for instance Ash's Charizard. When he was Charmeleon, he did what he said, but once he evolved to Charizard, he did not listen for a long time. And in the games, it's the same way. If you're too high level, you don't have enough badges, sometimes your Pokemon will loaf around. He won't listen. He'll hit himself, fall asleep. So the fact this gives you all keywords, to me, is saying that you have all badges. And that your character could do everything. But what is it that you see? And finally, Rhinokio. This, I know, in my heart, is Nidoking. Or Nidoking. Whichever way you like to pronounce it. You just look at it and just see the everlasting, threatening, devastating power that Nidoking has always given off. Now Rhinokio has 4 cards as of right now. But I'm only showing you this one. The other ones I'm going to save for a future video. But this, 100%, is Nidoking to me. But last one final time. What is it that you see? I hope you guys like this video. Hope you like the kind of different way that I did this video compared to the Digimon one. I felt like the Digimon one, I spaced out my wording and the way I talked a little bit too bad. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. And I also wanted to ask the viewer, you know, it may have got repetitive, but I wanted to hear your all's thoughts on what kind of references you see in these cards. Because just because I say it doesn't mean I'm 100% right. And this also doesn't mean that I found every Pokemon reference. I'm sure there is much more, which we can go back and look in another video. But if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments below, and by leaving a like on the video. And also subscribe for more amazing content, because I'm really pushing hard at doing new things, new openings, and just, I've got a lot of things in the pipeline. A lot of things that I've never done before on the channel to deal with trading card games. So I hope you guys are going to join me for the ride. But until then, I hope you all have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.